This one's got an asterisk.
All right, we ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be doing a quick little presentation about alcohol service. This PowerPoint is geared towards a 2.5 hour class, so you're going to see me kind of buzz through a bunch of slides. If you have any questions, tell me to stop. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of what really is going to pertain to you. Is everyone here going to be a volunteer? Okay. And I'm Sergeant Trevor Emmy with the Milford Police Department. If you have any questions afterward, just let me know. We'll let you guys find your seat. Okay, some of the things that we're going to be touching on is alcohol law, your responsibility, recognizing and preventing intoxication, checking identification, and handling difficult situations. Like I said, we're just going to be busting through a lot of these. Just know the biggest thing is if you are serving an already intoxicated guest where you can actually see that they are heavily intoxicated, you could be liable for what happens when they go home. There's different laws. You can be held through the law, civilly. Those are kind of the big two. If you see somebody that is visibly intoxicated, you should grab your supervisor or your shift lead and point out that guest so we can come in and remove that guest. So we'll actually watch this. I don't know if there's sound.
No one likes to think about this stuff, but if you want to serve alcohol, you have to. The truth is, serving alcohol irresponsibly sometimes leads to people getting hurt. In serious cases, those injuries can last a lifetime. Some people even die, and that's not all. Beyond these terrible human costs, there are legal consequences for the business too. Owners and managers may face fines and lawsuits. They can even be charged with a crime. Irresponsible service can even hurt the business's bottom line. The liquor license can be suspended or even permanently revoked. And the bad publicity likely to follow an incident can cause people to stop coming in. That means a big loss of revenue, which means jobs might be cut. And if all that wasn't enough, the business will have to pay more for insurance premiums, or may not be able to get insured at all.
So just know you could be held liable if somebody leaves the beer tent or the festival and they have that Milford Memories band on their wrist and they end up hitting somebody and that person dies. That family can actually sue the festival and narrow down who was actually responsible for serving you. That's why it's very important to keep an eye on your guests.
Everybody asks about this one, but really it's pretty straightforward. States, counties, cities, and towns write laws about how alcohol is supposed to be served. If you break them, you can be charged with a crime. So basically, you're responsible for making sure you don't break alcohol laws. That's the liability part. Here's a question for you. Can you go to jail for breaking alcohol laws? You're darn right you can. If you're lucky, you may only get probation or a fine. Good question. Civil liability focuses on compensating people who were hurt by someone who is negligent. In this case, someone who didn't serve alcohol responsibly. Translation, lawsuits. If you break alcohol laws and somebody gets hurt, you can be sued in court and forced to pay damages. Remember, this can happen if your actions contributed to the person's injury or if you didn't do anything to prevent them from getting hurt. Here's one you may not have heard about, but many states have dram shop laws. They're a special kind of civil liability for people who sell alcohol. Dram shop laws allow a person who wasn't even at the business to sue for injuries caused by a guest who was drinking there. Here's an example. Let's say someone comes into your bar. They have several drinks and leave intoxicated. On their drive home, they kill another driver. Under dram shop laws, who can be sued by the family of the driver who died? This one's almost a gimme. Yes, the owner can be sued, but so can the business and its employees. Okay, administrative law.
With that dram shop law, that's a big one. So not only could the person who is driving get sued, but the company, the corporation, whoever's hosting the business could get sued. That's why we need to make sure that all the patrons are getting home at the end of the night and they have a safe way, especially if they're heavily intoxicated. Please let us know so we can ensure that they get a safe ride home, because the last thing we need is somebody going from having a good time to somebody going to the hospital and a family finding out that their loved one has passed away. So, like our village ordinance, we adopted the state law, so we followed Michigan state law. I'm sure Milford Memories had to apply with the liquor commission to get a special permit for this week or that weekend. So you guys don't need to worry about that, it's more of you. Because they could come in and surprise, what are we doing? And someone younger than 21 serve alcohol.
Sir, yes.
Yes. 18.
So,
Is it
17. Back during COVID, they changed the law from 18 to 17 because businesses were having a hard time finding people. Do you have any young people serving alcohol?
We have in years past, but we do not anymore.
Okay,
So we're really 21.
that's probably the best thing to do.
Yep.
Can you drink on the job? It depends. It depends on what the business corporation said. What do I recommend? Not drinking on the job, because that's when you make questionable decisions. Can a guest bring alcohol on the premises? No. That goes back to what kind of, well, it depends. Depends on what kind of alcohol certification you have. Because some people, they might just have beer and wine, where they can bring their own liquor on the premises, but I know Milford Memories does not allow that. Can you drink past the hours listed on the liquor license? Nope, that's a big one, that'll get you in trouble.
One example, in many states, it's illegal to allow people to play games that involve drinking alcohol. This includes popular games like beer pong and quarters. Why? Because they encourage people to drink too much. Also, most states hold establishments and employees liable if they knowingly permit certain illegal activities, such as gambling, prostitution, and other lewd behavior. And of course, you can't knowingly permit people to possess, sell, or use illegal drugs on the premises. Okay, let's take a moment to talk about discrimination. States hold the owners and operators of establishments and their employees liable if they discriminate against guests due to race, color, gender, sexual orientation, age, disability, creed, or religion. Want to avoid problems? Treat everyone the same.
Alright, can you refuse service to a pregnant woman? Why?
You can't assume we're pregnant.
Here you go. Now, if you do know them and they are pregnant, might be a call to CPS. Is that baby? You know, I don't really think you should be drinking, but you can't discriminate against that. Alright, recognizing and preventing intoxication. We're going to be buzzing through a lot of these because I'm sure everyone here has seen a drunk person before, correct? So we all know what to look for. If they're stumbling around, if they're being loud, if they're swearing, bumping into people, that's when you let us know. We can take care of them. Because the last thing we need is a bunch of drunk people bumping around, making people mad that we have fights, and then people are going to jail. You guys don't need to know all this. It's just, you all know what the legal limit is. Now, in the beer tent, I'm just gonna back up here. There are no like food trucks nearby, right?
Yes, there are.
All that is a right part of it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, if you see a guest and they're kind of being noisy, take them out, maybe offer them, hey, go get yourself some a hamburger or something, because that'll prevent them being too intoxicated. That'll slow it down. Offer free water. I'm sure you guys have water down at the beer tent. But the biggest thing is just let us know, and we'll handle it. Make sure that they get out of there and get them home. These are just a bunch of videos of people. You say, are they intoxicated or not? Okay, checking identification. This is kind of a big one. I know you guys have security checking identification at the front.
Yeah.
But how many of you have kids that are 21, 20, around drinking age? Nobody?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you, I do, I got a few.
Okay, so you probably know your kids' friends, how old they are.
Yep.
Approximately.
Yep.
So if you see one of your one of your kids' friends, and you're like, that person's 19, and you know that they're 19, but they're showing a fake, you are obligated to let us know. Be like, I'm pretty sure they have a fake ID. Let us know, we can handle it. And at any point, because this is not it's put on by a private business, you have the right to ask somebody for their identification if you think their age is in question. Even if they got past security, you can still say, hey, let me see your ID. If little Jimmy looks like he's about 11 years old, you're like, ooh, I don't know. If it looks fake, it's probably fake. I had fakes, I didn't bring them today. The fake IDs these days are pretty good, not gonna lie. I've seen a lot that are pretty good. The biggest thing on there is it's gonna be their same address, but most common it's Ohio and Illinois, close by places, because if you see somebody with like a California ID, it's like, really? You're gonna come out to Michigan for Milford Memories and you're from California? Unless they determine, or they're from the area. So I'm just gonna run through checking IDs, types, what makes it valid, signs of fake or altered ID, and how to determine somebody's 21. Again, if somebody is under the age of 21 and they're drinking on premises and they end up getting hurt or something, you put people in danger, it's a risk to your business, job loss, severe legal penalties. That's only if we have like a whole group of people. When should IDs be checked? Right at the front. Right at the front, gets it out of the way. So do you need to recheck identification if you have doubts about the guest age?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, this video just talks about, some people don't like checking IDs because they just feel like it's wrong. But just know you're protecting yourself when you're checking IDs. You're doing the right thing. Even if they look way over the age of 21, still check their IDs. Just to keep yourself in a good spot. Okay, the biggest thing is make sure the ID is valid. Because what do brothers and sisters do? Older brother gives his old expired ID to younger brother. Because they look similar. Make sure it's valid. It has to have a front and a back. We're not just going to accept IDs in the wallet. That way you can feel it, look at it, make sure it's not fake or altered. That's not just a piece of paper printed out of the ID. So, no. So the big two, where you can only accept driver's license and a passport, because to make the ID valid for alcohol, it has to have a picture, date of birth, or signature. Those are the big ones. So you can't accept school ID because it doesn't have your date of birth. You can't accept a passport. You can accept a passport card, but not many people have a passport card. But passports and your driver's license are kind of big too.
What about a military ID? In the past, some people have tried to come in with a military ID.
As long as it has their date of birth, picture of them, their signature has to be on it. I don't know if a military ID has a signature.
No signature, but date of birth.
Okay, yeah, signature is another big one. There are ID checking guides that kind of breaks down what to look for in certain states. We have a lot of out-of-state people. I don't know what the new Michigan driver's license, what the little identifiers are on all of them, but I know the old ones with the green markings on it. If you have like a magnifying glass, you look at the Mackinac Bridge, it'll actually say Michigan on there. But they have it for all the states on what to look for. So if you think an ID is fake, the best thing to do is to look at somebody and say, what is your date of birth? Because not all the time they know what date of birth is on their fake ID, because you can rattle off your date of birth like it's nothing. So that's the number one thing. They go into checking their signature, it's like, I'm not interested in that, what's your date of birth? Because if it were like, I don't, and they're trying to do math in their head, no, just roll off your tongue. If you find a fake, refuse entry, let us know, hand us the ID, and then we'll take care of them there. We'll take their little wristband away and they'll not let it come back. You can look at characteristics on their face, like your eyes shouldn't change, your nose shouldn't change, but hair color could change. If you're wearing colored contacts, that could change.
I started looking at her. My bad is rude.
But more or less, your nose probably is not going to change. So, what's your address, date of birth, how tall are you, what's your middle name? Now, middle name's usually the same, address can be the same, it might just say Ohio or Illinois, wherever they're from. Date of birth's going to be different. How tall are you? That's a big one if they're siblings, because you could have some variation. Like my oldest brother is 6'4", my other brother is 6'2", and I'm 6 foot. So we're a little taller than me, so I can't use their IDs. So these videos are very cheesy, so I'm not going to make you guys do this. All right, last chapter. How to deal with intoxicated guests, ways to communicate, how to handle potentially violent situations. The takeaway from this chapter is just let us know. Let security know, let your boss know. We can go in, just have eyes on them, direct us to who it is, like, yeah, they're wearing a blue shirt or whatever. Right there, they're being loud. We'll take care of them, no problems. The only time we'll have real problems is if you say, well, they're being kind of loud, but they're having a good time. And then they bump into somebody, now we have a fight, now we gotta take people to jail. If it's a big enough fight, we might just say, all right, we're done. Everyone's go home. So, never assume an unsafe situation will resolve itself. We'd rather catch it before anything else happens, because it makes everyone else still have a good time. It makes our job a little easier, even if we need to take somebody out, and we'll go upon our day. The only time is if something really bad does happen, somebody starts throwing hands, and then we're like, all right, everyone's going to jail. When to stop alcohol service, just know you are not required to keep serving intoxicated guests. You can say, no, I'm going to shut it down. No, you're saying, I'm just a volunteer, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Grab your boss, grab your supervisor, notify them, hey, this person looks like they're getting a little too intoxicated. Will you take care of it? If it was a good boss, they'd say, absolutely. If they tell you, nope, keep serving them, well, then you can come find us and be like, hey, my boss did this. I think this person's a little drunk. Can we get him out of here? I'm more than happy to do it. We'll be everywhere down there. Now, how do the drink tickets, do you only hand out a certain number of drink tickets per person?
So they go buy them and then go back and buy them later.
Okay,
So
can you like do one ticket at a time, or can you be like, hey, I'll take 5 beers right now?
they buy, lots of times they'll buy them for multiple people, so
Okay.
they might have a group of 4 of them and one person buys $100 in tickets.
Okay. But like if I went up there and be like, hey, I need 5 beers, and I walk
We
away for
typically
2.
serve only 2 per
Okay,
person.
that's perfect. Yeah, that's a good way of slowing stuff down. Because if I keep going back up there every 2 minutes with beer, I'm probably gonna start causing issues eventually. So, serving 2 at a time is good. So, when's the best time to tell the guests that you're gonna stop alcohol service? A or B? Yep. Because if you say, hey, just to let you know, this is your last beer, they're gonna be like, oh, I'll show you. This ain't gonna be my last beer. So when they go to order again, say, I can't serve you anymore. And show a little sympathy, hey, I'm gonna lose my job. My boss is gonna be mad if I serve you another drink. The police are gonna be mad. Blame it on somebody else. Blame it on your boss. That's why a couple people I'm in charge of. Joel. Blame it on Joel.
I know.
Joel told me I can't serve you.
Yeah. Yeah, blame it all on Joel. What's the best statement when stopping service? Sorry, but you've had enough, or sorry, it's against the law for you to serve you? B. Because you're blaming on something else. Hey, it's against the law. And intoxicated people do still have sympathy. Like, I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. So, cite the law, company policy, deflects the blame, and keeps things from becoming personal. Unless you like serving your ex and like, yeah, you're crazy, you can't have any more drinks. Then that becomes personal. I want to make sure you make it home okay. That's the biggest thing. Show that you care. Concerned about them, be genuine about it. I know you guys are going to be busy, but we have to ensure that our guests get home in a safe, timely manner. Again, be firm. Don't let them talk you into, well, I haven't had that many drink. If you've made that decision that this person is going to be stopped being served alcohol, you got to stay firm on it. And let your boss know and let other people know, hey, that guy right there, I just stopped because he's getting loud. So he doesn't go to the next person and be like, hey, can I get some? No. Hard no. Once you say no, don't let them persuade you a different way. Maybe you can watch all these videos, but I don't think you guys will. Like I just touched on, tell your manager, coworkers, quote the law, use good communication techniques, take the alcohol away, follow the company policy and the law. Alright. If somebody is stumbling into the beer tent, don't let them in. If they came from the Red Dog, it's best that they just stay away, they go home, don't let them in. We don't need them getting more intoxicated and dancing around and hitting people. Alright. What should you do if somebody got inside somehow? Ask them to leave or offer them food and non-alcoholic beverages. Food. Hey buddy, go outside, get a burger at the, get something. Can you serve somebody to the point of intoxication if they have a designated driver? But I gotta ride home safe.
We have no idea.
Exactly. No. Because they say that doesn't mean that they're gonna be telling you the truth. People lie, believe it or not. And again, no gambling, prostitution, weapons, drugs. That's a big no-no. If there was something illegal happening, what should you do?
Call the police.
Do both. Tell your manager and call the police. What you do here if you're carrying a illegal weapon? Just let us know, because we want to handle that situation very quick. What should you do if management asks you to continue serving a guest who you think is intoxicated? Do both. And if it's not in their seat, let us know. Let the police know. You guys don't need to worry about doing incident reports, because that'll fall on us if anything happens. Remember, be polite, good communication techniques, avoid being judgmental or rude, tell managers and coworkers. Make sure that you're all on the same page if something does happen. And that's pretty much it. I blew through that. Do you guys have any questions?
So good.
I know, it's great stuff.
So
Great work.
good.
If you actually want to be certified, let me know. We can go through the whole class. I think you sat in on it last year.
We did it. Denise
I was
and I
there
did
a couple
it.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I passed.
Yeah, you guys got to see more videos. So.
How many tries?
It was an open
Everyone-
book, it was an open
Denise
book.
and I are the point people for the Tier 10. Brandon is doing ticket sales in there. These three guys right here will be there Friday night helping. Sharice and Anthony will be there Saturday night helping as well.
Perfect. If you guys need anything, let us know. Again, we'll be all over the place, so more than happy to deal with anything before something bad happens.
Were there any incidents last year?
I don't believe so.
Look at
What was
us.
the question?
Any incidents last year?
What is that?
Who's asking?
I don't believe so.
No, we were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did our job.
You did good.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud
I
of you.
mean, we did have a lot of people that were over drinking, but it didn't result in
That's good.
Yeah, nothing escalated.
That's what, yeah,
That's what we like to hear.
thank you.
You guys listen.
You wanna tell my husband that?
Yeah. Don't get me in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hand it off to
Thanks.
Dick Caldwell.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Trevor. Can you just leave that?
I'll just keep
Leave that
rolling.
up?
You let me keep rolling.
All right, so just to kind of give you the rest of the agenda,